Hello, and a very warm welcome to the Gimme Wrestling podcast. My name is Ant, and today I want to talk a little bit about Braun Strowman. He was obviously a member of the Rosebuds very early on. You can still see photos of that online. He then went on to be the powerhouse while still green in the Wyatt family. And then he's gone on to a solo career, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this video. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It really helps our small channel get to more people. And subscribe if you enjoy the content for more wrestling content. Let us know down below what you think of Braun Strowman, especially about the WrestleMania win. So, interesting times. Obviously, when he first started on his solo career, he was in squash matches. James Ellsworth, who managed to get himself over, ended up being the first women's Money in the Bank winner in reality. He really improved in this sort of 2017 time. However, his luck with the championships has never been as fruitful for him. I mean, his first Universal Championship match was against Kevin Owens, which he didn't win. He then had a great feud with Reigns, which he really sort of got himself over with. But at the same time, he was supposed to be the heel, and he was ended up in the face because people were booing Roman Reigns at this point. It become one of the problems with Strowman, actually, because they feel like they can't decide whether he wants to be a face or heel at different times, and they'll just switch him up. I mean, can you tell me from the WrestleMania 36 match against Goldberg what he was supposed to be? Was he the face in that situation or the heel? I mean, it feels like he should have been the face, and Goldberg should have been going full on heel after beating The Fiend for the title. That would have made sense storyline wise. The fans would have got behind that and really started hating Goldberg, but it never happened. He had a couple of other title matches, but then started getting taken out of title matches, like at the Royal Rumble, where he was taken out and replaced with Finn Balor because of an injury, but then was still in the Royal Rumble and ended up coming second to Seth Rollins, which is a bit weird. He's won the tag team championships with Nicholas. Yeah, great. And also Seth Rollins, obviously, as well. But they had a match at Clash of Champions where they had to defend them. Again, they lost them. And then at the end of the night, they had a match where it was them two for the championship. And Braun lost again, because that's what Braun does. He did win the Intercontinental Championship earlier this year from Shinsuke Nakamura. Lost it very quickly to Sami Zayn, so Sami Zayn could take it again. So let's deep dive into Strowman's WrestleMania appearances, because that's what I want to sort of focus the video on. I think that it's quite interesting how WWE have used Braun Strowman. So WrestleMania 32, The Rock and his flamethrower helped bury the Wyatts. He got rock bottomed by The Rock in the ring after being punched between Cena and The Rock, looking like a fool. WrestleMania 33, he was a Battle Royal contender. Probably would have made sense to have given him the Battle Royal winner at this point, but the winner of WrestleMania 33 Battle Royal was Mojo Rawley instead of Braun Strowman. So again, not doing much at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 34, Braun won the title opportunity to face the Bar in the tag team tournament. He chose his surprise opponent, picking out a kid from the crowd to help him bury the Bar. It was all last minute. Again, people didn't know what Braun Strowman was doing weeks coming up to WrestleMania. And it's always been the case with Braun Strowman, even at WrestleMania 36. At WrestleMania 35, he finally won the Battle Royale, eliminating the two Saturday Night Live presenters to win. Yay. They never give him anything, is my point, at WrestleMania. And I think that there's a reason for that. I think that the reason is, if anyone's sick or injured, and I said this isn't just because of this WrestleMania, this has been something I've been saying to Dom for quite a while now. If anyone's sick or can't appear at WrestleMania, put Braun Strowman in. Just give it to Braun Strowman. Lesnar can't fight in the match against Roman Reigns. Put Braun Strowman in. Finn Balor's out of the IC Championship match. Put Braun Strowman in. Because he's a big guy, and because at times they have built him as this monster who can lift anything and all that sort of stuff, he's the ultimate insurance policy for WWE. And I don't necessarily think that's fair on him. Obviously, earlier this year, he was put in place of Roman Reigns at last minute for the championship match against Goldberg, which he ended up winning. And that's really interesting. I don't think it's fair on Strowman. I don't think it's fair that he can't get his own push. He just has to be used as that insurance policy because it doesn't build up any story. I think WWE even had potential. I think they knew that Reigns wasn't going to be performing at that WrestleMania before doing them last two SmackDown tapings. And I think, in my opinion, they could have done a story where Braun Strowman defeated someone at WrestleMania Night 1 or defeated a group of people at WrestleMania Night 1 to earn the fight against Goldberg. And at least that would have been something going into that match that felt deserving. Instead, it just sort of feels like some contract negotiations have gone wrong. So apparently, Goldberg wanted to beat The Fiend at Crown Jewel. It wasn't just a Vince McMahon decision. Goldberg, part of the stipulation was for the match against Reigns. He wanted to beat The Fiend. And the reason Goldberg wanted to do that, apparently, was so that he would look dominant to the younger fans. WWE doesn't really have any younger fans. Well, maybe it does, but a lot of us have been watching it for years, and we just thought it was rubbish to see Bray Wyatt, a guy that's got himself over, losing to an absolute part-timer like Goldberg. Obviously, the idea was Reigns versus Goldberg, Spear versus Spear, a match that writes itself, a dream match, some of you might say, for Roman Reigns, and a big win for Roman Reigns. And it never happened because Reigns didn't want to fight in WrestleMania. Obviously, with COVID-19 going around, it could have been that his wife is now giving birth to twins. She's pregnant with twins, so he might have been wanting to save her. But it might just be Roman Reigns' leukemia. I mean, his immune system is weak. Let's not put him at any risk, which is fine. I understand that. But the way that they just threw Strowman in had no build, had nothing. Apparently WWE wanted Goldberg to win the match to then face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. I mean, that sort of makes sense. You're still getting that big match if it's a dream match. It's not a match I'm interested in. That didn't happen because Goldberg said, no, I'm done. This is it. So whoever you put against me is going to win it. They chose to go with Braun Strowman. I think it's sad. It's like they don't ever give him the build he needs for anything. This being like the perfect highlight of that. They just shoved Braun in. I think it's a detriment to his character. I think Braun deserves better than that. I think there was a point where there was booking him as this sort of monster who was pulling down lighting rigs and all that sort of stuff. Why couldn't the Goldberg match be in something like that? Where Roman Reigns pushed the WrestleMania sign onto Goldberg. Guess what? You don't have an audience in. You can move Goldberg out the way. There was other cases of him doing that at WrestleMania. Give us a spectacle. Instead, it was spear, 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 power slam, power slam, power slam, power slam. It didn't even give Braun the opportunity to show that he can do stuff in the ring. And now they've moved him into a feud with Bray Wyatt, which... Look, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman feud absolutely writes itself. It makes sense. But not right now. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to give the title away from Braun, then he means nothing, and again, he's just put into this insurance policy position. You're going to give the title to Bray, that's going to... Or not give the title to Bray. That's going to upset fans, and they're going to be complaining about The Fiend not being treated seriously. The Fiend shouldn't be going for the championship, full stop. He should be the hunter, going to play with people. It's not the gold that he wants, it's playing with people's minds. Instead, we're getting another championship sort that's, I think, ultimately going to end up in disappointment. I mean, I might be wrong. It'd be interesting to know what you think down below on that. I'm hoping in the future that WWE recognise the talent they've got with Braun Strowman, and he is a decent wrestler who puts on an entertaining match. And hopefully WWE will give him a storyline where he gets his coronation at WrestleMania, some big moment as opposed to this. Braun can't do anything with what WWE are giving to him because they're not building the stories correctly. There's no payoff at the end of it. be really interesting to hear what you think of Braun Strowman, and yeah, let's hope for some luck in his future. Let's hope they can actually start booking him correctly. Let us know what you think down below, and if you want to see more videos, subscribe to the channel. I think next time I might do a video on Bray Wyatt where I just complain about Bray Wyatt for 10 minutes. So if you're looking forward to that, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, keep it gimme a hole, yeah!